Yo. What's up, people? About to talk about some breachers. Yeah. Completely unplanned stream, but oh well. Why not do it? New update out and everything, might as well. Alright, so I guess we can get started then. You can see with the... Yo, as you can see with what's on the thumbnail, obviously. You can see we're going to be talking about ship, map suggestions, other topics, anything we want to talk about. Ship update first though, because obviously that being the new thing. The most interesting topic people are talking about right now, with a lot of people wanting to switch back to the old ship, which I don't know why, but people are always going to complain. And I do believe this is the first map where there isn't a game-breaking bug. I do believe this is the first map update without something like that. Alright, so I have the... I enjoy a new ship. It needed to change. Yeah, for real, it did need to change. It was so bad before. And to be fair, most people now are saying that it's really attack side heavy, which it was very defense before, but now they've purposely made it more attack, and I think as people get used to the map, especially the layout, it'll be a lot more even. Because people just don't know where to place utility now. And I've looked around, and there are some really good util spots. So, we'll see. But I have the layouts of all the maps pulled up. There's a lot of breachers, so... It's looking... Yeah. Yeah. I love all the breaches that are in it. Alright, so here I have the... Hopefully you can see my cursor. Yeah, you can. Cool. Alright, so I do have all of the layouts here that you can download and stuff. Just go to breachersvr.com and you can go up to maps up here. That way you can see all of them. Alright, so ship. We do have the new ship stuff. Yay, let's go. So I do, as I said, I love the new ship update. I do wish there were a few things they would have done differently. Like, I don't like the lack of rotates in between sites. I think bottom floor is very beautiful. I haven't found anything that I particularly want changed in it, though it probably could use some changes. But mid and top floor, you just can't go in between sites at all if they throw a single ensign and connector. Because ensigns last 20 seconds now, so that's 40 seconds of time you can just keep people from rotating, which I think is completely unfair. So it will need a new rotate system. Like maybe a vent or something put in between the sites. And if you go to the Breachers Discord, I do believe that I suggest I suggested that we put vent rotates in between the top and the mid floor sites. Or not in between those two sites, but in between the sites on the top and mid floor, because you just can't get in between them now, and they desperately need them. It's so awkward to defend those sites. Also, following up on that, I know I said we'd talk about ship, but I'm going to talk about util. So I do believe we need to be able to door block all those vents because those are just. If we add the rotates in between the sites, I do feel like door blockers are necessary for the vent rotates, especially if you want to be able to hold like off-site, because then you can block off the door vents off-site. Obviously, they can still be shut out because it's a door blocker, but it would just, give it a little, make it a little easier. Pushes are made from breaches on this map. A quick flank could work if they're just incenting and spamming the incense spamming the cons. Yeah. So here's my thing about that. We can actually get into the layouts now. So let's go to the top floor here. So here's the top floor layouts that we have. So if we look at them, there used to be a doorway here that is no longer existing. And all we have is this connector. So here's the thing with the flanks. The only flanks you can possibly make on top floor here are from main hall and up from the stairs. Those are the only two possible flanks you can do. Someone will be watching stairs because if you push navigation, people will be over here holding this wall because they're actively pushing it in this doorway. So you're not going to get a good flank out of stairs. You might be able to get a decent one, but unlikely. And then this hallway is just, it takes so long to rotate because this is the other thing. Incense, yeah, it'll block off connector, but by the time the incense goes off and you're blocked off from being able to go through it, it's going to take you even longer to rotate out and around before the incense goes off. So by the time you get to around here, this little doorway right here, the incense already wearing off and your teammates can push through. Like, yeah, now you have the flank, but the flank takes so long, and that's if you're sprinting as well. And you don't want to fully sprint because then you give yourself away and they can just pre-fire you off the corner because they have this long hold right here in the hallway, that long angle. So it's just not very practical, and that's why we need like a vent or something. Top floor pretty screwed. Yeah, exactly. So that's why if you look in the suggestions, I suggested putting a vent right here in this little spot. Because I feel like down here would be pretty bad. Especially since you can just look through it out to the doorway and stuff. It'll be like that Arctic window that's everyone can just see through. So I feel like this one right here, I feel like a vent and hallway on the diagonal. What do you mean hall? You mean here? A vent here? But I mean, a vent in the hallway on the diagonal here. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Because, look, you have not too strong but promotes flanks. That is true. However, with this vent being here, you also have to think about how it affects people pushing communication as well. A-site. Because if they're pushing comms, they can break this vent right here, and they can now see everywhere in the back of site with basically no repercussions because they can hang out in the back here with a cloak, and since cloaks are way too strong right now, let me get back there. Since cloaks are way too strong right now, especially with the lighting on ship, they can see through that vent and it's completely overpowered. All they have to do is shoot out the door blocker if they have a door blocker in vent, if that's a feature added. So that's just another thing you have to think about. That rotate, yeah, it'll allow flanks, but it'll also let them flank this site a lot easier. And the fact that there's already 3 breaches on this site makes it even worse. That's why I was saying put the vent mid-site. That way you can peek through the vents and see into navigation. You can't see the breachable wall, but you can see kind of out here. And that way you can walk through it. Maybe a knocked over cabinet blocking that off. But like, where would you put the cabinet though? That's that's the other thing. Because yeah, you can compensate with something like an object just being in the way. But I really don't think a rotate here would be the best option. I feel like it would be a lot better being mid-site. Because with it being mid-site, you're also covered by this desk right here, so the people on the wall can't see you crawling through the vent until you pop up. So they'd have to see you from the wall or over here by the doorway. So that's why I think it should be mid-site here. Because visibility wouldn't be an issue if you're going through the vent. And vents take a little bit longer to go through. And if you have a door blocker, you can just like open the door blocker, toss a nade, crawl through vent, smoke it off, whatever you want to do. It's not like you can just sprint through it like a normal doorway. So yeah, that was my only thing about top floor. I don't think it would need any other reworking other than this putting event here. I think that's the only thing that really needs to be put there. Because I do like the placement of everything else, and I love this mid-hall hatch as well. That can be used for some devious things. I don't know yet, but I know it can be. Like the connector on second floor factory. That hatch, how people blow that sometimes. Really don't like the callouts. Halls need a better name. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, here's the other thing. Callouts have always been slightly different on the map layout rather than like what people actually say in game. So people will come out with their own callouts. I just call this main hall for now on. Like all this whole stretch is main hall. And I just say like A main hall, B main hall. That's what I say. And then obviously I call this nav. This I've never called communication. I've just called it a site. I've never had something for here. See, this is called bridge as well. I've always called this helm, and I think a lot of other people's called this helm. And like Bridgeport, bridge starboard. No one calls it that. No one calls it that. It's helm hatch, and then just whatever you want to call this over here, the back. Comms are always a little bit weird, but yeah, they should definitely like community vote that and see what people can come up with. Because no one is calling this starboard. Back helm? Yeah, like back helm. Helm hatch, helm. So like helm hatch is over here. This is helm. This is back helm. Whatever you want to call it. And like stairs back, it's just not the back. It's just not the back. Bridge stairs, helm stairs is what I call that. Stairs back, yeah, it's comms definitely need to be worked on. And there is a layout where it doesn't have the names on here, but then I have to download it to show you. It's a lot easier to just have it pulled up on the website here. But yeah, what do you think? Anything else that could be changed with top floor? I know some people have suggested, like in-game, obviously, not in the actual suggestions page. But some people have suggested putting a blowable wall here. I'm personally not a fan of that, but like just weird things like that people have suggested. Recolor the floors? Recoloring could definitely happen on these. I think so. I think the lighting has to change absolutely, or just the cloaks need to be nerfed because the lighting helps the cloaks so much in new ship. I don't know if you've realized. I actually have screenshots that I can't show you right now, but I did take pictures of it when I was going over ship with trips. Oh, trips just aren't there in this. Oh, you're right. Trip mine, yeah. I haven't found. I found one single good trip mine spot on this, and it is. Let me pull up all the floors. Bottom floor in plumbing. The only good trip mine spot I found is right here behind this box. They are completely invisible behind that. So if anyone sprints through plumbing, they die to those trip mines. If they sprint all the way through, they're easily baited though. But yeah, that's the only trip mine spot that I found to be good. If you in med bay, you say. Let's go to med. It's called birthing now. Are you talking about what's now called birthing? Sick bay. Oh, vents are purple now. Oh, I like that. I didn't notice that before. I like that indication. There's just not a lot of trip mine spots anywhere, really. Which is kind of sad, but... I mean, I'm fine with it. Okay, so here's another thing. We're going to speak utility-wise. Behind the box. Yeah, that's been kind of a spot in the old map, too. It's just been moved a little bit. Even then, though, I still don't think they're very powerful because no one is, like, full sprinting through that. Or people would normally drone that, especially in comp. But yeah, so utility-wise, I want to hear y'all's opinion on this. Thoughts on a Revolter's breaching foam? Hear me out. Hear me out. You get one breaching foam, and it has one or two charges. I'm thinking one charge. That way, when round starts, you can create your own rotates so enforcers can't hide behind certain walls. They can just be pre-blown by the revolters and they can hold those angles. Like here's an example here. You blow bathroom wall and you can hold an angle as a revolter waiting for enforcers to come through it. What do y'all think about that? I know I get a lot of hate for that suggestion, but I do think that would be really neat. Or like pre-blowing hatches as well. Someone like a roamer could go on a hatch, blow a hatch, drop down into sight. One foam, two charges, different colors. Yeah, that's what I. Thank you, Stale. That's what I'm saying, bro. Just because having the multiple charges, or just having breaching foam in general on revolters, because that will allow for some really nasty roaming plays and then really good holds. Because roamers can now, like, let's say I want to be upstairs. I'm upstairs. This is floor 1. Oh, I want to blow a hatch. Bam, I blow a hatch, I now drop into sight, and I can help out my teammates so I don't have to go around the stairs. Because roaming is not very good now, because unlike a game like Siege, obviously the most compared game, in Siege you can just shotgun open a hatch and you can drop down it. In this, you can't. So I do think foam on revolters would be nice for like roaming especially, but also on just being able to hold angles. Because I obviously can't speak for the devs, because obviously I don't work for Triangle Factory, I'm not a mod or anything, but I do believe they're trying to make this game as tactical as possible, and that's why Ship is the way it is, and that's why I like Dam so much, because it's less just sprint in, especially on Ship. It's less just sprint in and gunfights, and more so we need to hold angles, we need to push as a team, get pinch plays. Utility is a lot more valuable on this map rather than being able to just full sprint in. Because on old Ship and kitchen, you'd be able to pop a hatch, drop a nade, and 5-stack the hatch, and they can't really do anything about it. But now, obviously, you can't do that quite as well as you used to be able to. So I do think they are definitely trying to make it more tactical, and I think allowing revolters to have the foam would make it significantly more tactical. Personally. Could be chaotic. Yeah, it could be chaotic, but like you can hear foam go off very well, so it's not like it's a surprise attack unless you have it pre-foamed. And even then, you're wasting a charge. 7 to 8 total blows in one round. Okay, think about it this way. Realistically, almost nobody buys 2 foams, so you're going to have 2 foams, so that's like 4. That's like 3 to 4 blows. And that's why I was saying possibly having... So if we want the 2, you be able to blow 2 different things. You either have the one breaching foam with 2 charges on it, or you have 2 separate foams you can buy that each have 1 charge. I think that would make it more balanced, in my opinion. That'll also help with, like you said, the chaos. That way, roamer would, if they want to blow 2 things, would either have to take 2 foams with him, or you have 2 different roamers. So yeah, it's just, that's definitely something to think about, because I think that would make this game a lot more fun. Because right now it's just so repetitive. It's you go in, you blow a wall, you hold an angle, and whoever hits their shots first wins. Basically how it goes. It's basically how Breachers goes. And then for roaming, like, there's 2 stairs. That's all you have to watch. And if you don't blow a hatch above, you don't have to worry about roamers blowing hatches. Or jumping through hatches. Alright, let's see. Let's see what people have thought about my ship event rotation. Okay, so a lot of people are definitely liking the event rotation. So a lot of people are agreeing on that. Because like I said, I love the layout of this. A lot of people hate it. I love it. It just needs to be balanced a little bit more. And like I said, with the... when people get used to like utility and stuff, using more utility, then it'll be a lot better. Alright. Here we go. So, now that we have talked a lot about ship, is there anything else? Any other suggestions we have for ship? Well, I have it pulled up. Oh, sorry, one more thing that I had for ship. Let's go to the outside view. So if we look at the outside view, there's this little spot right here that's like underneath. I think, so it's like a big open door, which is obviously like, I don't know, for some sort of vehicle to move through. I think it would be sick if they had it open down there, or a wall you could blow or something, or just a door you can knock down. I think it would be sick to have stairs go from underneath up into the bottom floor. Tanks? Yeah. Yeah, it would make sense. But yeah, I think like a staircase or something going up from, or like even a rappel inside, like how we have the one on that new team deathmatch map. But like the rappel, like into the well, like a rappel or stairs or something should be open. Maybe elevator. Yeah. And you have the elevator shaft. Maybe you'd be able to rappel up into it. Outpost. Yes, outpost. I think that would be so sick if they did something like that. But then here's the thing. It's on this side. You can actually see it over here. Or no, sorry. It's on this side near Armory. So you'd have to figure out where the stairs would come up to. And they would either have to be in workshop. Ooh, wait a second. Hold on. Hear me out. So stairs would have to come into workshop or armory. An elevator, I don't think an elevator would be very practical anywhere unless you had it right here. So if you had an elevator, maybe stick it right here where these boxes are. But with this little vent that I love, by the way, I love this like kind of underground vent right here. With this vent, if we did the elevator thing, you should be able to go from a vent underneath, and you can either rappel up into the elevator, or you can continue, crawling upwards into this vent. I think that would be so cool. It'll also give it another use other than just like going in between Sight and Red Engine. I think that could be so sick. Because then it'll also give 2 new points of entry. Kind of like Dam Vent. Yeah, like Dam Vent. Full into Sight. Yeah, you'd be able to go full into Sight with it. But here's the other thing, though. You're exposed here. That's the difference between Dam Vent and the one I'm suggesting. Because it wouldn't go directly to red, it would go to green first. Because you'd crawl up into green, then go from there to red. But yeah, the difference being between this and Dam, the main one is Dam's from above, so you can throw nades all the way into the back of Sight. From here, you're going underneath. I think that would be such a neat thing to have. It would be so unique to ship. And that means not only would Revolters also be able to crawl down this, or sorry, not only Enforcers can, but Revolters can also go down it. And they can camp. You can have something like Factory in the bottom of this. With, Assembly and Factory? Or some people call it Garage, but Assembly. You can have something like that with a few tanks stored in the bottom of it under the first floor. So Revolters can camp that out too if they want to, and they can go back up to the vent. Pre-firing that would be so funny. Yeah. Hey, Ducky. Joined in the middle of an interesting conversation. So a suggestion that we just made out was, I don't know if you're here for it, but possibly putting an elevator shaft where these boxes are on first floor. And then connecting the vent to the elevator at like a diagonal downwards. And this little spot over here, because there's this massive flat wall. We're thinking making this possibly like a garage for tanks that's open, and you can go up through that into the elevator shaft or the vent as a new point of entry, instead of it just being all these doorways and walls. Because even though it's so open, I feel like bottom floor is very still close together, and that would make for some interesting rotations. Also, another thing that could be interesting, so if we still have that breaching foam thing, or we don't even need the like breaching foam for Revolters, but these little vents right here, since anyone can access them, what if you were able to put a door blocker horizontal onto these vents? And you can like a lid, you just cap off the top of it. You could hide as a Revolter and also block off Enforcers from being able to use it as quickly as they are. And as sneakily. Because right now you can sneak through this, but the second you're heard inside this vent, someone can just nade it. I think that personally would be very cool, to be able to cap these off with the door blocker. What do you think? I don't know, just little details like that. So neat. Definitely be interesting. As long as you can still nade them out their vent. Yeah, you'd obviously still be able to, because with door blockers, if a Revolter walks next to them, they open regardless if you want them to or not. So if you want to nade them a vent, you just walk up to the vent and just throw it, or not have a door blocker here. Because you're only able to have 2 door blockers. So this would be if you want to use, if you definitely want to be able to use this vent or stop them from doing it. Could an enforcer stand on that? Yeah, enforcer could stand on the door blocker. And if a revolter, here's the thing: if an enforcer is standing on it, and you, as a revolter, want to drop them into the vent, if you hear them standing on it or shooting it or something, you can just walk up to the vent inside of it. That opens up, and you toss a nade out. That way, you can kill people like. 1 second. Chat, we're back. We survived. I'm alive. I survived. Don't worry, guys. Oh my gosh. They forgot to clean the oven, so when they turned it on, it started smoking. They couldn't reach the fire alarm, so I had to go turn it off. We're all good now. We're back. We're chilling. We're alive. Anyway, back to Breachers. Slight minor inconvenience, a little side quest I had to go to. You know how it is. I was thinking about making a video, but I think you could do it better, Flare. Basically showing off the most common breachers and defensive positions for every site. Yeah, I'd totally be down for that. Someone suggested me doing that a while ago as well. And I said I would, but I haven't gotten to that yet. But yeah, that could for sure, because I have a lot of time now, because all my college, my college is online at the moment, and I only work like 4 days a week, so I have time. I could totally do something like that. Show off common angles, pushes, and whatnot. Definitely a neat video idea. I'd probably do a separate video for each map as well, just so I can go slightly more in depth with it. Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. Just a lot of editing. Yeah, Breacher's comp push guide. Yeah. I'd definitely be pulling clips from like VRML streams and something to show them off in an actual comp setting as well, because most people are better visually than just hearing about them. Some of your comp teammates need that. For real, it's my account. I will say this, my account is currently Plat 1 or Gold 3, one of those right now, because I've been doing the I've been solo queuing. So I went from being placed top Plat 1 to dropping to like bottom of Plat 1 or Gold 3, something like that. Just because I have teammates who are constantly baiting and don't know what to do. So yeah, that would definitely be interesting, posting a guide like that. I'd be down for that. Stacking with my team, got you to GM. Went back to Master for solo queue. Yeah, it's so hard to solo queue right now, because people just don't know put the pushes or utility. Because what happened was, it's not that comp players just started playing comp, it's that pub players also moved to comp, and now everything under Grandmaster is just pub players. Wish I was on a team of all plats. You were on a team with all plats and gold and got put against Determined, Slash, and some other Grandmasters. Yeah, the matchmaking, they're also fixing that. I believe they just released an update for that as well to help fix matchmaking. So it should be a lot better now and getting better. Thank goodness. Yeah, for real. Alright. Anything else for ship? Anything, changes, suggestions? Anything like that? But yeah, bottom floor I think for ship is beautiful. I don't really think anything has to change, except I would add that elevator stalemate suggestion and adding the vent there going up from the bottom. Thoughts on break room? Where is break room? Oh, this one, mid floor. So I personally do really like break room. Here's the thing with break room, you can't really change it at all without manipulating the site, and I do think break room in itself is just a good place, because where is it compared to... Let's line these up more. So if we line these up, you can see exactly where they line up with each other. So break room is right above armory and workshop. Um, so there is the hatch above that drops into break room. So you have 3 points of entry, and not discluding sight. Haven't even played this new version yet. Can't wait. It looks fun. It is fun. It is a lot of fun. I've had fun on ship. It definitely. So just looking at the layout, you can kind of tell, but it has a very damn map influence in the new update for it. But yeah, so looking at the layout of these compared to each other, you have 3 points of entry, which is the hatch on top of it. You have the window, the original window here that was on the old map, and you have these stairs going into this break room. So I do, granted, like 2 hours control point. Very weird playing. Yeah, yeah. No, I've been running into like walls that I expect a doorway to be there. Or something else. It's very hard to get used to the new layout, muscle memory. But yeah, so fast. A lot can happen so fast. Window, hatch, stair push all at once. From the wrong wall. Well, yeah, you're right with the pushes. You can definitely do some devious things with that. Especially if you like... So... We're going to talk about pushes here for a second. If you were to push to A, if you were to push CAF for A site, you could taking out this window would be ideal. That way no one can sit back here. You'd obviously want the stairs. I would probably take both the stairs hall here and stairs. So that way you can keep control of sick bay. People don't know if you're pinching A or B. So if you take the hallway, you can take this window. You can then get both bathroom foamed if you want to, or if you don't want to mess with bathroom, leave it alone because people can peek through this vent. And then you can take this wall right here. Now, here's the thing. Visibility in the site is very low, and since there isn't a vent or anything here, all they can do is push through freezer, which is their only single point of entry when they are holding site. So, get this wall open. Toss an incendiary into the back over here from this doorway right here. Like you can just run in and toss an instant. It's not very hard to push it. You can just flash it and get in, and they can't do anything about it. Then that holds them off. You can blow this wall, blow the hatch. Someone's upstairs. You plant for the wall because you can break on the blowable wall piece. I don't know if you know that, but you can place on the actual broken bit of the wall. So you can plant there. You can have someone sit on hatch, and all you have to do is just hold a nade. And the second you hear the defuse, you just toss a nade down hatch. You would do all upstairs. 2 stay hatch, 3 come down the stairs. Drop down, contest from stairs, 2 in bath, 2. So definitely the pinch style, you're saying, because the drop and blow. My only critique, or sorry, my only thing with that play, is now that you have both of these wall open, since Revolters has no way of blowing these walls, if you leave bathroom closed, the only way you can get properly pushed from a flank is if they go all the way around and meet you at the wall, or if they go through the vent. Once again, vent you crawl very slowly through. It's very hard to get through there fast, and you will be noticed. So leaving this bathroom wall closed would be ideal if you know one is roaming. Because once again, like you said, people could just flank out and go since there isn't a rotate mid-site. So, what does that purple wall mean? Yeah. So these little purple ones, they're new additions. These are vents. So this is a vent rotate you can wall through. Yeah, the crouch hole. So like someone can be playing that in bathroom, which no Revolter is going to do that unless you're actively pushing bathroom. That's why I'm saying to just avoid it and just push like break room wall. Like Skyscraper. Yeah, like Skyscraper with the vent in server's room. But then also, like Stalemate just said, it's not bottom floor Arctic. It's mid floor. Mid floor Arctic, there is a vent that leads from the roof into the, I believe it's B site. We can actually look at it right now since I have all the maps pulled up here. It should be at the top. Damn. Or Arctic. Why'd you say Arc? I'm thinking damn. You said Arctic. Wait, what are you talking about? Bottom floor B Arctic. Whoa, hold on. I read that wrong. Bottom floor. Shoot. Stop pulling all that up. Bottom floor B Arctic. This is not bottom floor. This is bottom floor. What are you talking about? Bottom floor A. Oh, they are swapped. You're right. Whoa, that's weird. B should be A and this should be B. What are you talking about with the vent? Oh, you're talking about this one right here. Yeah, so Arctic's obviously going to get revamped, but I personally, with the new vent system that we have, like when it got introduced with Dam, that should be closed off and you'd be able to open it. But yeah, I can't wait to see what they have for Arctic, because I already like the map. I don't think it needs that many changes, but that would definitely be cool having that closed off. But yeah, just like this rotate here, if we head over to Dam, and we take a look at, not this floor, we take a look at this one right here. You can see, so you obviously can't see it from here because I hate the layout that they have, the way they're showing this. It is kind of weird to show a layout for Dam, but I don't like the way they did it. There's a vent, so here's B site. Mid-floor B needs to be changed in Arctic, otherwise it's really good. Yeah, and I think top floor bathroom site needs to be changed. It's way too attacker side, or yeah, way too attacker site if you get a rotate on it. But yeah, so the vent I was talking about leads from roof, and it pops out right here, way above the site, and all you have to do is blind fire out or toss a nade. The second Dam came out, I found this out. You can get a nade all the way to right here in the back of the site. It is super overpowered. Yeah, the window thing on the vent. On their brakes, yeah. That's what I was talking about. But yeah, that is ridiculous. B-site does need a little bit, as much as I love Dam, and I love Dam. I don't know if you've seen my Dam video, but I do love Dam. This does need some change added to it. I don't like the layout of B at all. Well, okay, I kind of like it, but it's way too open to be a site, in my opinion. I'm also glad that they fixed the little glitch. You used to be able to plant right here, which is not in sight, and they have fixed that, so thank goodness I won't get sold on comp anymore from that. What are those stairs to nowhere? Which stairs are you talking about? So there's 3 sets of stairs here. There are back stairs that go all the way up. There are these stairs that lead down. B site. Are you talking about these ones back here, the front stairs? Staircase into the wall? Yeah, you're talking about these? Oh, these mid stairs. So these stairs lead insight. Oh, this one right here? The one in between the 2 gens? Yeah, the weird ones. Yeah, so this one, you can like hide up inside of it, and you can kind of have high ground. I'm fine with those stairs. It's just such a weird site, though. It does need to be changed. I just don't know how you can change it. I think there's a workbench there. Yeah, there's a workbench here. So you can't vault on it either. So you can't peek over the wall. You just have to be on one side of the wall. There's nothing you can really do there. It's so weird. This has to be open right here. Such a weird site. A site I'm fine with. They could add like event crouch hole right here. Now that we have those, that would be sick. Having the event crouch here. But yeah, this definitely has to be this has to be changed somehow. This has to be changed. It's so weird. Such a weird site. But yeah, I believe that's all for ship. Feels like assembly. Maybe like ship bottom where showroom right. Hold on, wait, hold on. What are you saying in this? Feels like assembly. Maybe the ship bottom where showroom right becomes site instead. Showroom and bottom ship? Maybe like ship bottom. Where showroom right becomes the site instead. Oh, wait. Are you talking about where they've just rotated the sites? Where the sites got flipped? Yeah, where workshop's no longer a ship or a site, and how they made green the site. Um, they definitely could do something like that, but here's the issue: where are you actually going to do that to? Because if we pull it up again, where in this could you flip it? Showroom right becomes a site. That's what you were saying. Okay, okay, I understand now. I understand now. Yeah. Um. Here's the gripe with that. So, yes, you could turn this into a site, and yes, it could be separate sites to where there's no connector between them. That could be a really cool idea. More changes would be necessary. Yeah, here's the changes I was about to say. So, you have bathroom here. That's acting like bathroom on ship. If we take a look at it, it's acting just like this bathroom here. Before ship changes this season, I was 4 for 4 in comp. Had like a 3K average, 3 KD average on ship. Yeah, ship was so broken. But yeah, so bathroom right now, if you change it to showroom, then bathroom would be acting like it is on ship where there's a blowable wall and event, but for here there's just the doorway. So you definitely would have to add a blowable wall here and then keep this as an open doorway that you can door block. Very neat. If you figured it out, you went crazy. Yeah. Yeah, for real. And then here's the other thing. If you made showroom right, this would have to stay as the wall here. Because adding another room there would just be so weird. So if you left this as a wall that you can blow, it would be like the hideout bottom floor B site. Where you can blow the wall and just go inside a showroom. But yeah, more changes would have to be necessary. But that would definitely be a neat concept. We're changing this to the site. And then having the generator as like assembly, kind of. That would definitely be very interesting. Because then also, if we go to the top of dam, if we look here, we have this little window that just peeks out into the entirety of generator. So you could hold a flank watch like you can in assembly from, if we take a look to factory, let's go to assembly. The way you can watch assembly from like assembly hallway or war room here, or what's called in here control room. The way you can watch that is kind of like what you can do on dam if you changed it to an assembly type, because the event is, or the little window is right here. You can see everything. I would definitely like to see something like that, changing showroom. That's smart. That's smart. I'd like to see that. That would be pretty sick. Oh, um, we're gonna hop into the hot takes for maps. Are you guys ready to have some fun with me? See what my little mind is up to when it comes to maps. Be prepared. This might make some of you a little. I don't know. We're gonna look at my favorite map, Hideout. So, with Hideout, I do love it, but hear me out. It is one of the most least complicated and boring maps you can possibly play. The only reason why I like Hideout is because it's so easy. I just love running around it in like public matches. Because it's so easy to do like my commentary videos, because you can just run around, just turn off your brain and just run around and shoot people. There's like no complexity to it. So we are going to get rid of these ship layouts here. We're going to pull up all of these floors. Alright, so if we do this, they should be all pretty much lined up. Alright, Half-Brain Rat could make a hideout push. Exactly, bro. You don't have to think on hideout. It's so easy. Like, just looking at the layout, you can tell what the common pushes are. Most common push for this. Oh, I don't know, maybe blowing the wall and just running in offside off of a frag grenade? Yeah, congratulations, that's how you push Jim. Easiest thing in the world. We're gonna look at this. Oh, what would be the easiest possible thing to push here? I don't know, Flare. What could be the possibly, like, easiest thing to push here? Oh, I don't know. Push garage. Blow the sight. Flash it. You're in sight. How do you push A? You blow hatch, you blow wall, and you just push in. But it's so much easier to push B. Why would you ever push A? You hate it for the same reason. I like thinking, communicating, especially with teammates you know. Yeah, it's so brain dead. Like, you just push, you blow wall, and you're in B. You get in here, you take garage, because garage is the easiest thing to take in the world. You just, literally, all you have to do is drone it, which you don't even have to do. And then you flash it, you have garage for free, and you blow wall, and you have kitchen. Now, it is a little harder to push, because it's just, at that point, all it is a battle of gun skill and play spacing. Whoever can play space the best, and whoever has the best aim, that's who's going to win. You cannot change my mind on that. And then we take a look at top floor. Oh, what is automatic? It becomes gun skill. Yeah. It's just raw gun skill. That's all hideout is. Which was fine in like beta and like early breachers, but now that so many people are so good at it, it's just so boring to play. And now we look at here. What is everyone's immediate thought to what site's easier to push? I showed my dad this, actually. I showed this to my dad to see which one he thought would be easiest. What was his site? Exactly what you said, Ducky. A site. He said A site would be the easiest. Why? Because there is a window in the middle of the site, and there is a wall in the middle of the site. Straight into an assembly type place. So if all you have to do is come here, you blow the wall, throw a nade into sight, you have sight. What happens when you get plant down? Well, plant down, instead of being 60 seconds, is now 45 seconds for you to defuse. So, because of that, and with incendiaries now being 20 seconds each, I've come up with a play that I will tell everyone. I will tell everyone because it has to be changed. Do I push the 3-room site or the 1-room site? I wonder. Exactly. With plant being 45 seconds and incendiaries lasting 20 seconds each, literally all you have to do for this is get plant down. You can have someone suicide plant. You just have them plant here. All you have to do is throw 2 incendiaries. They literally can't pass through this. They can't do anything about it. That's 40 seconds of free plant time. They can't defuse in 5 seconds. So many opponents have pushed B site. It's crazy this season. Yeah, because B site is theoretically easier. So completely ignoring, we're going to completely ignore A. We're not going to look at it. Let's get out of it. Looking at B, it looks like it could be easy because there's so many points of entry that you can open up the site from. But A is so brain dead, throw two incendiaries for 40 seconds of free time that you don't even need to think about it. That it is just, you don't have to do anything. It's just, it's so easy to just push it. Because once again, that's 40 seconds of plant time. They can't defuse in 5 seconds. It's literally impossible. So this definitely has to be changed. One of my suggestions for changing this was, I don't know if I still have the, especially when there's a free plant with full cover. Exactly, and like you have the wallbang from shower that you can shoot through that you shouldn't be able to, but you can. But even then, just lean and your opponents can't hit their shot. Let me, if you give me 1 second, I have this saved in my photos where I drew up a custom hideout layout for top floor, which I thought was pretty neat. Do I still have it? Imagine a crouch roll from librarian to A-site. That could be neat, but then again, I don't think that would ever be used, to be honest. Like, obvious. Ooh. Well, yeah, where toilet is, exactly. You'd have to move toilet, which I don't like the toilet being there. It makes no sense for it to be there. So you could move from here into library so you can avoid getting naded. That could work. But then again, it's so slow that it probably won't. But let's go look at Discord, because I sent this to Kazex a while ago. Like a while ago. Just bear with me. Media. Where did I do this? Okay, it should be right around here. That's not quite it. Here it is, I found it. So we're gonna pull up this visual. Let me switch this so I can log into, let me pull this up. 1 second, I'm gonna mute. Alright, we're back. We back, people. Alright, so, back to Hideout. So here's the suggestions that I made for top floor Hideout. It was very quick. Ignore how blurry it is. 1 second. Let me get out of this. 1 second. No way, Flare is back. I know, I'm back. Crazy. Who would have thought? So we're going to add an image onto this just for you guys. Alright, 1 second. I didn't expect to have to pull this up. Never thought I would see the day. Yeah, I know, crazy. Alright. Here we are. You want to see a very blurry image? Here we go. This is our extremely blurry image of Hideout because I drew this on my phone. So, here we are. So, these were my very quick suggestions that I thought about making when I was looking at Hideout. So, as you can see here, I suggested enclosing off that little part of bedroom. If we... Ooh, wait, I have an idea. Let me pull this up. Ah, I can swap these. So now if we hop over to desktop, so if we look at bedroom here, then we can see this little enclosed spot. This little open spot right here in bedroom. That's kind of awkward. And then you have hatch, obviously that drops here. This little toilet being here is kind of weird in bathroom. I don't know, I just thought it was. Showers are kind of weird. But we have all of this stuff here. So, with that being closed off, my suggestion for this site, and hear me out, let me explain it if you have questions. If we take a look at this spot right here, in my suggestion, as you can see, I have suggested that we close that off. Check Discord suggestions. I think I sent that in suggestions. We can look at Discord now. Let me look at that. You guys can keep looking at this layout while I have it up. Flip, tub, and breach. Oh my gosh, stalemate, we think the exact same. Yo, that's crazy. So I made this the second they announced that they were going to be doing map updates. Or the second it was even like thought of that they were going to update maps. This is what I wanted them to do. It was for Hideout. I actually sent in this image for Hideout and I sent suggestions for it. No one got back to me, unfortunately, but look at this. So I'm thinking we move the hatch from next to the B site to into an enclosed bathroom and we put a little toilet in there. That's where we move the toilet. Now, if we look at washroom, A site, then we take a look over at the actual one right here. So we move the tub over here. We put the wall there. And in this image, I have the wall extend out a little bit so A-Site gets a little more cover. The bomb might need to move to a different location or it's in the same spot. I don't know quite yet. But we also take the shower window. So we move the shower off of the weird wall that it's on, because if we take a look back at the current one, you see the shower's up here. I'm suggesting we move it against the wall and we move the window from shower to the other side of it. Like this. Let me pull it up. Like this. So the window gets moved next to the door, the wall gets put on washroom side, and the fact that I moved the hatch means that you cannot watch Killbox from the hatch, making it a more deadly position for revolters to sit in, because as of now, there is no possible spot for revolters to sit where they can't be caught out. So with hatch being gone from that spot, you can now sit on Killbox perfectly fine, and it is now isolated inside of the bathroom. So you have to be even more wary about trip mines. That's what I think. You like the extra space behind tubs so you can actually protect that? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. There's so much stuff you can do in the site now. It leaves a lot more room, and it would be attacked at different angles, especially if you... Let me flip it over so you can actually see my cursor. But especially if you stick a door blocker here, you can just completely hold that off and have someone sit kill box, and they have to push the breached wall or the window behind. So it would not only allow for... Here's my thing. I love the triangles. So we have one here. We have one wall here, that's two. Having the wall move to here makes it to where you can then push in from the wall, the doorway, or the other window behind, which is why I had moved the window from the showers next to the door. That way connector's also good. And if we're feeling ambitious, we can do what I think Ducky suggested it. We could add... Did I just flip to the wrong thing? I did, I'm sorry. We could add the little vent in between library and bathroom right here. So that way you can crawl in between the sites. Or you can have a vent from shower to the doorway. The vent from the shower to the doorway would be a little bit bad, I think, so having that one that Ducky suggested would definitely be good for the changes that I've suggested. It's possible to do this to bypass the hatch flank watch. Yeah, that as well. That as well, because that hatch flank watch is just so good. It's really hard to contest that. So with us moving it to that bathroom means you cannot no longer hold that. So yeah. 1 second, someone's messaging me, and then I'll take a look at that DO. Okay, so I'll be right back. You gotta head out by Great Convos. Alright, see you, Stale. I will be right back. I need to go find someone's keys because second event of the day, someone locked their keys in their car. First a fire alarm, now this. But yeah, I'll be right back. You guys can keep looking at this. Suggest other changes. Um, I do. I'm before I leave for like 3 minutes and mute. I want you to take a look at, especially UDO. Look at these change that I changed from bathroom window. I lined them up specifically so you can see all the way from the bathroom into the breachable wall. There's not a lot of visibility, but I specifically have it like that, so that way you'd have to door block one of those if you want to hold that off. You can also flank watch like that now. We're back again. I'm back. Hopefully you didn't miss me again for the second time. Alright, back to my hideout changes. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the suggested change that I made? Because it's nothing too crazy like how ship is, but I made this a while ago, and this is just what I personally think would be a pretty great change, in my opinion. Oh shoot, I completely forgot to mention this as well. Why didn't I say this? So guys, I don't know if y'all are still here since I left, but I want you to take a look at what I have labeled as closet. A new callout. So we're going to head back to the desktop website. You're here, Ducky. Hello. We're going to take a look at this. So this is normally open from bedroom to main hall. Now, hear me out. We take a look at my suggestion. Keep looking in that area. I have it closed off. And my reason for doing this is that now it's a little bit easier to push hallway with a different angle perspective onto it. It also means that revolters can no longer pass through that hallway very well and easily. It makes it a lot more difficult for them. Now, if we wanted to, then we could totally stick a vent in between that instead of a blowable wall. But I do think having that enclosed there is very good, especially for people who are wanting to push in through that top door and balcony and push into the site. Isn't it hard for them to flank? That would be tough. It is hard, but the only flank that could be watched there is the window in main hallway or the window in bedroom, because hatch would no longer be a flank watch. So we could just stick a vent in between the closet instead of a blowable wall, because vents were not a thing yet when I made this. I made this right after Arctic got put on. That would be cool. Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking we put a that's why I'm thinking we put a vent there instead of the wall that I have there. I don't know. I just think that would be a really cool thing to have. But yeah, that is all of my changes. I believe that's all of them that I have made for this hideout. Oh, I also have a separate picnic table and more tables outside just because I feel like it fits more. And the vent is moved slightly to the left in bedroom. So if we take a look at the desktop website that I have open here, the windows right here, I moved it slightly to the left, which also prevents the hold from, this is very important now, very important. It now also, with me moving it to the left, prevents the hold onto the library plant on B's site, where you can plant on this wall right here. So that prevents one of the most overpowered possible holds in the game. So now you'd have to plant somewhere else to behold it from window. Because if I switch it over again, it's shifted to the left, so now that angle is quite literally impossible, and it is now only very useful as a flank watch, or if you plant on connector, which you would not be doing anytime. So yeah, I think that would be really cool. It also stops wall banks from going straight in connector as well. I think it's crazy that you can plant on a red sofa, which is blocked by a wall, but on other sites you can't plant in areas blocked by walls. What do you mean by that? Which sofa are you talking about? Oh, the one in A site? Or feel like you could still plant just on the other side of the box? Okay, but let's take a look at this, Dio. I have like areas that look in sight but aren't, like Arctic Middle. Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But Dio, let's look at. So if we go back to my suggestion, look how far over I have things placed. You can't plant on the right side because if you draw a line from the window to the wall, it is still impossible to hold it without people being able to just move. Because in this game, you can lean and crouch, whatnot, into other spots. So it would that hold would literally be it would be so impractical to hold that. It would be very difficult. And then, like I said, it would be very difficult to be able to get a like you wouldn't be able to wallbang into connector as well either. You could hit like the very entrance of it, but you can't wallbang all the way into the back. But yeah, so this was my official layout that I personally would have done to top floor. If they ever decide to revamp Hideout. I think Hideout needs to be just a little bit bigger as well, personally. I think it's way too small. Top floor, at least. Top floor is way too small. Top floor is ridiculously small. Could also have something where it's like split sites. So if we take a look back at the current hideout, you could do split sites where you move the site from shower into bedroom, have them like that, where you rotate the site, or you can move the library site into bedroom. I think moving the bathroom into bedroom though would be easier, or a little bit better, in my opinion. But that's something you could do. Um, just thoughts? Obviously, you'd have to change it up a little bit, but I think that could be something possible. Because bathroom is just such a stupid site right now. Unless they could, like, revamp bathroom, then it's always going to be a really enforcer-sided site. You moving bathroom into bathroom actually sounds like it could be a really good idea. Yeah. Especially, so bedroom how it is obviously can't be a site, but now that I'm looking at it, if we look at my suggestion again, with how enclosed I have it off now, that would not be a bad idea. Moving it off, if you enclose it something like this. But with the suggestions that I made, it would just be more practical to keep bathroom a site, and then change the way it is. I also changed the label from bathroom into washroom, and then added bathroom where the hatch is. Gotta go. Alright, see you, Ducky. It's reminding you of Arctic middle floor. What's reminding you of Arctic middle floor? What specifically? Very curious. Because I personally don't see anything like that. Top floor hideout if we move A into bedroom. So looking at it how it is, let's go back to that. Shoot. Alright. So if we look at it how it is, move it into bedroom. What part of middle floor are we talking about here, Ducky? Are we talking about the... What part of Arctic are we talking about? Wait, did you say Arctic or did you say... Yeah, you said Arctic. Arctic mid-floor. Let's take a look at Arctic, shall we? This is why I love having these layouts here on the Breachers website. Mid-floor, Arctic. Alright. The entire layout of the floor. Did I just go to top floor? I did. I hate the labeling of these things. So. Yeah, I saw that. Dio. A and B. Hallway. I mean, bedroom as a site. I mean, kind of, with main hallway being the same as hallway west here. Just a really small and dumbed down version of it. Rotate Arctic 90 degrees counterclockwise. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it. Yeah, something like that. Definitely be very similar. I'm curious to see what changes they're going to make to Arctic. I'm very interested in that. I have no idea how they're going to change it up. I do believe I've heard just around that bathroom will be getting basically completely changed, which I am excited for, because right now, as of now, if you plant in this bathroom, on this stall right here, you blow the hatch, you can hold it from underneath and they can't do anything about it. It's actually really overpowered, especially if you have Vezin. Pistol round or if you are up in eco. It is the most overpowered thing in Arctic. I absolutely hate bathroom. Not allowed to tell you anything about those changes. Oh, I didn't know you're like a tester or someone. I am so interested to see. I am very interested to see how they'll be changed though. I'm really excited for it. Cause I already like Arctic and I know it's just gonna make it better. I do think this does need to be a closed off vent though. You mean you're not? Yeah, you're not allowed to tell me anything about them. Oh, you're not a pet. Oh. So I'm assuming you just know changes then from people. um, but yeah, this we so Dio, you weren't here when we said this, but I suggested that we should be able to door block off. Um, moving on, yes, we should be able to door block off vents. So you should be able to door block bathroom and dormitory here. If we go back to ship, I'll briefly re-say the suggestions that I had for ship. I suggested that we have. This is the wrong floor. Alright, so yeah. So these two floors. I suggested putting, I don't know if you've seen it, but in the Breachers Discord and suggestions, you can actually take a look at that image while we are talking about it. It is the most recent or one of the most recent suggestions that I made. You can take a look at those photos. I suggested putting a vent in between navigation and comms. A and B site here. For the purpose of the fact that flanks are so impractical on top floor, and if you incent off connector, then there's no good rotates people can make over. So having a vent in between nav and comms would be really good, and the fact that you'd be able to door block it if they had door blocks to vents. Same thing with kitchen and cafeteria. I suggested putting a vent in between the front of kitchen and the bathroom side of cafeteria, so having the vent right next to the other vent right here. I just think that would make it more balanced for revolters, because right now not having those good rotations is so bad for revolters side. Yeah. And then the other suggestion that I made that I don't believe you were here for was a Revolter's Breaching Foam, where you can buy 2 Breaching Foams. Each of them only has 1 charge on it. That way Revolters can blow walls to hold angles, or flankers would be able to blow walls hatches. That can make for some really good flank plays and stuff like that. That way, because right now all enforcers have to do is hold 2 angles, which is the hallway Revolters can come from, or the stairs. And allowing revolters to have that 1 breaching foam lets them drop onto the flank and stuff like that. They could also blow sight hatch and get back to sight. They'd obviously have to be worried about it, but they could make a quick rotate back without having to go all the way around. So that's a suggestion, that one that I think has to be added is that breaching foam. That would make it so good. People would have to think a lot more. And then if we head over to this bottom floor here, you're against giving revolters breaching foam. That would actually mess with so many things. Like I said, it's you get 2 foams that each have 1 charge on it. They each only have 1 charge. You could also make them more expensive by like 200. 1 or 200. Because right now, flanking is just not... It could be so much more than it is right now. And then being able to set up your own rotations at the start of the round and angles and stuff. Because right now, it's all the exact same pushes and stuff. but giving revolters the ability to open walls and stuff makes it where enforcers would have to adapt more to the situation than just being able to go, oh, we know for a fact this is going to be closed, so we can push this. It would give drones more of a use as well. Because right now, obviously, they're useful, but they could be used even better with the ability to open walls for rotates. Alright, yeah, so bottom floor now. The second thing, so like I said, for adding door blockers onto vents, I think you should be able to door block this bottom vent as well. Cap it off like a lid. I think that would be neat. Because you could both hide in the vent like that, or stop people from going into the vent as easily. That'd be nice. Yeah. So that's all I really think for map changes and stuff. As of now, I really like the ship update. I just think it does need those 2 new rotates in between the sites. Now, here's a question for you. If you were to add any type of utility into the game, or new mechanic or whatever, mostly just talking about utility here, what kind of utility would you add? I'm so interested to see what you have to say for that. Whether it's giving a certain add claymores for enforcers, that's a big one that people say. 100%. Yeah. So I've heard a few things. It's claymores for enforcers. I've heard a suggestion for a door blocker for enforcers, like they get 1 door blocker. I think that would be very neat for closing off flanks. That would also help balance out the breaching foam, because if they get breaching foam, then door blockers would be useful to block off doors, so then they have to push that wall rotate unless they shoot out the door blocker. Once again, that's the adapt to the situation thing. Anything that acts like a proximity or trip mine or door blocker for enforcers to have some area control. Yeah, that's why I really like that door blocker suggestion. I think cameras would also be neat. As of now, it's a won't do set by Triangle Factory, but I think having cameras would be neat. Like, you have a little like tablet whenever you buy a camera that's like on your back. So you grab the tablet with both hands, you pull a trigger, and then it pulls you into the camera. And you flip through, you get like, you get 2 cameras, is what I suggested. You get 2 cameras, and you set them up. They said it won't do because of performance limitations. Yeah, but here's my idea with the performance thing. It won't be that bad for performance limitations. Why? Because it can act like a drone. It wouldn't be on a screen that you would see. You grab the tablet with both hands, you pull the trigger, it pulls you into the camera like a drone. So your body is there, but you, as like your entity, is looking through the camera. That way, you can flip through the cameras. So the button that you use to deactivate drones, or like the way you cycle through, like when you're a ghost to switch through your teammates, that's how you would flip through the 2 cameras. And then you pull the trigger to exit the camera. That's my suggestion for it, which is very possible in a game like this. It's very doable, and that works around all the performance issues. I think that would be really neat, personally. Also, making the damn security room. I think those cameras could work. If they're able to make them work, I think that would be really neat. Like how they work in the trailer. Because they worked in the trailer, I was really hoping it would be on the actual map, but they're not, unfortunately. Which I very much complained about in my my damn review video. Just little things like that would be so neat. And then cloaks, not to buff cloaks more, but I think if you had like the cameras you could flip through, I think cloaks should make you completely invisible to the camera. I think that would be really cool. Just a way to like balance it out more. Sounds really nice. Plus nerf cloaks to the ground in actual gunfight. Yeah, so cloaks should basically not work at all if you are actively moving with your joystick. So if you're like place basing, they should still work. But if you're moving with your joystick, like you're actually like trying to move in the game, crouching, uncrouch, or if you're just moving, they should basically not work. They should only work as much if you're standing still, and then even then they should still be nerfed a little bit. But I think the fact that making them basically not work at all while you're moving, you should be like completely white, like almost completely white while you're moving. If they have that, then I think that would be enough as a nerf to keep them still a good utility, but not as overpowered. The fact that you can dodge proximities with Cloak is extremely good feature of it, but right now the meta is to literally just swing with Cloak. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you make it where the second you start moving, not a lot of League players even know that's a thing. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you move with your joystick at all, whether it's to crouch, uncrouch, or move, like a walk, then I think Cloak should basically not work at all. It should only work if you're like moving with your physical like head or hands and like standing still. That's where I think it should actually work. Because obviously you don't want to nerf them to the ground because then no one will buy the cloak and there's literally no point to having it. I think it should just be a you're standing still and the cloak works. That's what it's supposed to be. But it's just not. It's a little more overpowered than it should be. Especially on ship. They're now like completely invisible on ship. It's so bad. That was an exaggeration, but yeah, it needs a nerf. Some spots with cloak, now you're literally invisible. Yeah, it's it's ridiculous. I can't stand cloaks. Because yeah, here's the thing with me suggesting utility. With me suggesting things like giving people breaching, like giving revolters breaching foam with one charge on it, the reason why I'm saying that, like you have to think about how could you like counter or balance it. You would counter or balance it by adding in enforcers, claymore or door blockers or um and just with other things too. Like you'd obviously add utility to both sides if you add one to one side. That's why I'm thinking having the cameras for revolters would be good since enforcers has a drone. But yeah, that's my basic utility I've thought of. The more I think about it, the more giving revolters breaching form with one use sounds good. In your opinion, it should only be one film with one use and not two, since it creates some stupid angles. Yeah. So just having the one film with one use would be nice. Just the fact that they'd be able to blow a single wall or a single hatch makes it that makes a push that much more different. Like, it really changes pushes with having that one thing already pre-opened. And it's not like the enforcers would be surprised by it, because you can hear stuff blowing up a mile away in this game. Walls and hatches, at least. And having things pre-foamed would be so good too, because you could like pre-foam a hatch or wall and then blow it the second they push you and start dropping on them. Maybe even letting revolters use that foam during buy phase. If they blow a wall in buy phase, then it could blow up silently. So I don't think that would be a good thing, because you already can't, because there's outside walls, and then you wouldn't be able to blow up the outside walls. So I think if that's the case, if they allow something like that, you should be able to prep the wall but not push the button until the round starts. But even then, I still think that would be overpowered, because you could have some pretty nasty spawn peaks with that. But yeah, adding a breaching foam with one charge plus a camera combination would be so nasty for revolters. And then to balance that out, cloaks would make you completely invisible on cameras, whether you're moving or not. And what's it called? Adding claymores and rotations and stuff would make it balanced, a little more balanced too. Remember that one time VRML had a rule about no spawn peeking out of window for the first 15 seconds of a round? So that I don't believe was ever a rule for VRML. It was you couldn't peek out of a window at all. It was the hideout. You could peek it, but you couldn't lean out of it. It was not this window. It was a real rule? Oh. I only ever remember the laundry rule, where you couldn't lean out of laundry at all, because it would literally make you invisible. Enforced under real matches. Huh. That's so interesting, because I never had that issue, and I've been playing VRML since VRML was in Breachers. Or sorry, I've been playing VRML Breachers since it came out. Interesting. Yeah, I never knew about that rule. I mean, I never did it anyway, but interesting. Very interesting. Only rule for a few days before it got removed. Oh, that makes sense. I think they took it from seasons to seasons. Sackers and vendors can start moving at the exact same time. Break doors right off the bat. Yeah. Yeah, I see that. What time is it? 6:46. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and call this one because I have a scrim soon. And I'd also like to eat. So that is everything for this stream. I love the new update. It could use some tweaks. Um, but yeah, that is all. See ya.